change. If you can literally alter something in your own system,
exactly,
simply by thinking it's changing, bro. Imagine what else you could do.
100%. So God gives me an alley-oop. Man, there's a person that I have seen since middle school. The movie we're working on right now. Can we talk about it?
You want to tell them about it, man?
We can talk about it.
Okay, go
we
ahead.
We are working on a zombie movie. It's gonna be pretty long because it's not gonna be for Film Fest. It's just gonna be for us, for our love of it.
Submit to other.
We might short it down, but the main point of it is to be a zombie movie because I love zombies. I love The Walking Dead.
Too much.
Okay, bro, shut up. So, man, we out in nature today.
Yeah, man.
We are out in nature today, man.
You know, man, they try to stop us, bro.
They try to stop us. No school for a week. They said, man, y'all cannot record an episode. But we're out here. We're getting it done.
We still here. We stole one of the school's cameras.
Stole one of the school cameras.
Just snuck in right
out here,
now.
Got a little phone mic. Just snuck in. It's actually recording a little movie.
Yeah, there was
at our school.
We're right here at the elementary school, right next to our school.
A few days ago, there was actually a lot of like trailers. There's a lot of cars. There's a lot of stuff going on.
It's amazing to be out here, man.
To live in like a place where so much is happening, like everything is moving like so fast, you know?
Yeah, of course.
And I think when you have like like stuff happening so fast, you gotta have a place to ground yourself. So I think it's a blessing to just be out in nature, enjoying the beautiful weather. You feel me? Know. And taking in the fresh air today, Patrick.
Yeah, exactly. It feels amazing. Saad had to drag me outside though, because I don't be outside for real, man.
Bro, but you gotta peep though, bro. All our opportunities, bro, come from coming outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Going outside, getting like, you feel me? I remember this one event, this FBLA event I was at. I was it was at another high school, and we were talking. And I remember I sat down, and then there was this Georgia Tech representative or something. He had been graduated, and he was talking to the class. And I remember I shook his hand, and I was like, my name is Saad, and I got into Georgia Tech for aerospace. And he was like, oh, here, I'm going to give you my business card, right? And I'm going to get you connected with different aerospace engineers. That came from going outside. And I know you have a lot of examples from when you went outside. A lot. You got a lot. You got a lot done, Patrick. Tell us, bro.
Yeah, man. So many different opportunities just come from going outside. And I think especially if you're, young and ambitious, that even puts you, like, over the edge, for real. Because, like, I remember... we had this one event that I went to. I went to this one event where it was just businesses pitching their business ideas to developers, to other investors, etc. Right? Yeah. And so it's available. Anyone who signs up online can just go. And my brothers and I, we found that online and was like, yo, this is a perfect opportunity since, we want to be businessmen in the future. We want to create our own things in the future. So let's learn from those who are currently doing it, right? So we went, and it was in Atlanta, right? Yeah. It was actually in a building sponsored by Georgia Tech. Oh. So when we went over there, bro, when I tell you we were the only like high school kids there, everyone there was 30s and above. Yeah. It was even rare to find like a college kid at that event. Yeah. And it was like, because we were so young and because we were putting ourselves out there, we actually got literally most of the attention. People were like, wow, how old are you? Yeah. Wow, so you're doing this and this and you're still in high school. Yeah. I connected with multiple different people, business owners, and everyone just willing to help out and, give me advice. And all this just from going outside, from researching online and finding, my place, just a place for me to go and continue learning because really the entire world is your playground. Yeah. Remember the Uber driver, what did he say?
Exactly.
He
said
the whole world is a classroom.
Oh my god, I said that.
Y'all both said that.
We both said something. You was spitting game the whole time. I don't even know. Like, when you hang around people who just say the same stuff as you, it's like, you feel me? Mm-hmm. Bro, you gotta tell them that we gotta say the story about...
the Uber driver.
Man, so we got into the Uber, and I remember...
Wait, hold on. You have to start from where we were.
Okay, we were at Redan. We were at this high school for this event. For this, one of our success coaches, she had this event. And... I remember we peeped. We walk in and we saw there was a whole bunch of just opportunity, right? You can connect with a whole bunch of different people. And I remember so many people came up to because we were doing a Black Voters Matter, little segment, table.
And we were talking about environmental justice and advocating for that.
Exactly. So there's a whole bunch of tables, and so we were networking. We were doing our little thing. And, you know, we talked to a lot of people. And then I remember at the end of it, we had to call up an Uber driver, right? So the way God has stuff planned for you is so amazing. So our success coach, she was gonna pay for our Uber, and so I remember she was very predominant on her dropping us off, right? Because she was like, her phone died. Her phone literally had just died, and we were like, I brought my charger that day as well. So I told her, I was like, no, I'll just put your phone in charge. You could send the money, and we'll catch the Uber. Yeah. So she sends us the money, and we wait for the Uber, right? Her phone charged, right? We had to wait like 5-10 minutes. I got one of the slow chargers, bro. So we had to wait 5-10 minutes. Her phone comes up. She sends the money. Boom, we get in the Uber. It's Nick. Nick's our Uber driver.
And then before we got into the Uber, bro, what jokes are you?
Bro, I was like, oh my.
It was like, bro, who is this guy?
I was like, who is this guy, bro, just picking us up, man?
In his Nissan
Altima, bro. We just BSing, bro, cracking jokes.
That's what we do,
that's
right?
what we always cracking jokes. Yeah, so I call him, man, I'll dirty mac him all the time, bro. Just dirty mac him.
So
get in the Uber.
We got into the Uber.
As soon as we got into the Uber, you could tell that the man wasn't playing.
You could tell the kind of man he was.
Rate me 5-star, a little hook, bro.
Like he was hustling, right?
Hustling, bro.
And even from, you know,
he looked like a smart dude.
Yeah, the first words that he said, you just knew, like the way he presents himself.
Mannerisms, right? Manners are super important, man.
And you know, so we got into the car, and you know, he was asking us, so what we doing at a school event, you know, on the weekend, what's going on?
He was like, man, they didn't have this when I was in high school.
Yeah, so
food trucks.
So we were just, you know, talking it up, and then I asked him this one question, right? And I asked him, you know, because this is my favorite question to ask, especially Uber drivers or just, you know, anyone in general, because it's such a good conversation starter, and really, like, people love talking about themselves, and that's really like very good communication tip. So I asked him, you know, do you just do Uber on the side, or is this your main thing? Like, you know, what else do you do? Yeah. He was like, what he say, man?
Man, he said, nah, this is a little side hustle.
Yeah, he said, man, I got many things.
Businesses.
And it was,
you know, and this is just a Uber driver. Like, this is, you wouldn't expect to have such a conversation with an Uber driver. You know, like, because a lot of Ubers, I remember the first Uber we got in that morning, she was like, it was a whole 360. She was cool. She was blasting music. I don't know. She was blasting some song, bro.
Yeah.
And, you know, she didn't talk the whole ride. And that's cool. That's valid, right? But we're talkers.
This one was special,
This one was so special.
And so the coincidence is,
it's
right?
crazy. Because we had done our movie, and we had just got into...
after we just, like, got the news that our film
got awards.
And so we're talking to this man, and he's like, you know, I'm into filmmaking.
Yeah.
And we're like, no way, we're also into filmmaking.
Yeah.
We just, you know, made 2 award-winning films. And this man starts going crazy as if he made the film. He was like, y'all made 2 award-winning films in high school.
Yeah.
And like, just the support and the love was there, really. And so we're talking.
We can't let the plane get in the audio. That's a nice little plane. Oh, my bad. Keep going.
This guy, bro. So we're talking, right? And so he's giving us advice. We're just really just having this back and forth, all 3 of us conversation, and it feels very, like, energetic, because when you meet someone who's as ambitious as you are, and who's, you know, purpose driven, it's just something that amazes you every single time. Yeah. And so this man, what he told us, bro, was, I don't know how we managed to get into the right Uber that we needed to be in, bro.
And it's a blessing, because at the start, Miss Battle was offering to drop us off.
Yeah, so he told us he actually works at Trilith Studios. He was a PA for a Captain America film, bro,
that just came out.
And that's
so we
so
met
crazy.
A PA.
Because it's crazy, because what was it? A couple months before, we was
went
at
to Trilith Studios,
and this man had a
life-altering moment. I
bro.
go to Trilith, man. I step on the grass, and I'm like, bro, I do not want to do anything else in my life. I just want to be an actor, bro.
Exactly. So
straight up,
when we heard that news, we was like, bro, what? Yo, we're filmmakers, and we just met another filmmaker. He's giving us advice. He's like, you know, he was a PA, and so he got to really experience how it is to be. Oh, for those that don't know what a PA, it's a personal assistant. Where basically we're like on a film set, right? the people that gets the coffee, the people that, you know, just do the little minor things.
Stuff. But it might not seem like a lot. Exactly, but that's the way everybody starts, and then you build yourself up.
A lot of people start as PAs, and then like they work their way up to, you know, whatever it is that they want to do. Yeah. Let's say someone is missing that day and they need an extra person. Yeah. They're going to go to that PA because the PA is already there. Yeah. And so that's basically what he's trying to do. Yeah. Our teacher told us about this in the classroom, about how, you know, the structure of a movie studio and filmmaking, right? About, you know, the different roles. And this was the first, like, PA, the first even filmmaker that we met out in the wild.
And that's why I said going outside.
Yes, bro. It was such an amazing coincidence, bro.
Insane coincidence.
Insane luck. And so that experience, bro, really, like, after that, it was like, yo, man, we got to find other events to go to. We got to go talk to more people. Yeah. We got to meet new people, because even at that event, we met other people at that event. People, and so with those other people, we met students that are just like us, ambitious as we are, and they invited us to their school talent show, and we have stories
about that. The thing about that, bro. The thing that's so, it's the way the human environment plays such a big role in how you are. We go to this event at another school. Our friends invite us. So we walk in and we sit down, and it's like a professional talent show. Yeah, professional. I mean, you got dancers, you got singers. These singers can sing. So the halftime comes in where they give us like a 15-minute break. We go outside. And so this is the first time me and Patrick are put into an environment where people aren't coming up to us. People aren't talking like, oh, the filmmakers, yada, 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 right? Yeah. So it's a humbling experience, but it's also an experience where you're like, okay, how do you put yourself in there? And so God gives me an alley-oop. Man, there's a person that I haven't seen since middle school. You feel me? I haven't seen this girl since middle school. And I don't know if she remembered me, because I wasn't that talkative in middle school, right? I was a bad kid. So, you know, so she walks past. Before she walks into the auditorium, I tap her. I'm like, Aubrey? And she's like, because that's her name. I'm like, you remember me? At first, she says another person's name.
She said Mike.
No, bro, she did not say Mike.
Yeah, bro, she
said
did.
Max. She said Max.
She says Max.
She says Max.
In the background, dying, laughing. I'm like, bro, this dude not Max.
Bro, listen. And I'm like, no, it's Saad. And she's like, oh my God, it's Saad, right? Nah, bro, so she's like, oh my, yo, how you been? Yada, yada, yada. And, you know, you see one person talking to two people that nobody else knows. Yeah. That's going to create like a little crowd. So her friends come.
A group of people just surrounded us, and we're just talking. And, you know, we're telling them about ourselves, and they're telling us about themselves in their school. And so we're comparing these two different environments, our school from their school, because they go to a school that's specifically set for, you know, the arts. Yeah, the arts. So everyone there is, you know, already had some sort of art, this goal in mind that, oh, I want to be an artist, or I want to do this and that with my life. Whereas we go to a regular school, although our school, as you like to say now, it's a film school now.
We made it to a film
school. So like,
but our school isn't known for the arts.
Exactly.
And this school is just art.
Exactly, just arts. So everyone there is just like, they're all heading towards whatever goal that they have set for themselves. So all of them are high achievers. Yeah. And so when we're telling them about their schools, about our school, they're shocked. And when they're telling us
we're shocked,
bro, about their school,
GPA requirement,
we're shocked, bro. They were saying something about if you have a GPA. Like, if your GPA is a 3.5 or anything lower,
you get kicked out.
Like, you get.
Man, we're in maximum security prison, bro. You get outcast, bro. You below a 3.5.
Like, that's so crazy to us, and everyone there is just so much.
The way they articulate themselves,
exactly. So it's like it was nice for us to get into this new environment.
And all of them were trying to recruit us.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, I should come.
But it's the thing of being at your home. You know, you can never forget where home is.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like a lot of people, they forget where they come from. They forget, like, their roots, their upbringing. They never go back to their city. They never get back to their community.
And some people don't realize that a lot of the times it's bigger than yourself.
Way bigger than yourself.
So, like, I remember at this law program that I was in, that I was telling you guys about in a couple previous episodes, right? So there was a bunch of lawyers, right? Successful lawyers who were making so much money every single year. But the number one thing, like, the number one thing that they always used to tell us, bro, every, like, because different lawyers came and they spoke to us, they give us different lectures.
Exactly.
They said, bro, no matter what you do, don't forget where you came from.
Don't forget where you came from.
Always go back to your community and help them out, you know, because like that's the whole point of you getting up and, you know, leveling up and becoming a better person is so that you can better those around you. And so if you, like, one of my favorite quotes is, be a fountain, not a drain.
Not a drain. Ooh.
And so what that means is that there's so many different resources out there for you, right?
Yeah.
But you can either suck all those resources up and put them to waste as if you are a drain.
Yeah.
Or you could be a fountain.
Or it can be prosperous. It could be a fountain.
Exactly. You can let it be prosperous. And what a fountain does is that the water spreads out everywhere.
Yeah.
And so if you are like a fountain, all the things that you intake is going to be beneficial to those around you. There's so many things that Saad would go out and learn, and he would come and he would tell me so many things,
a lot of stuff,
and like, bro, he put me onto so many stuff, and it's vice versa too. So it's like, it's never he's just growing by himself,
of course,
or I'm just growing by myself. It's us two growing together, and not just us two, of course. This, and we want it to be the school as a whole, because I feel like there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of stuff that we could do as a community, right? And so one of the most important stuff, bro, is community and culture. That's one thing recently we've been talking about heavily.
So much, bro. You gotta go back to your roots, and you gotta go back to, man, this is a funny story down myself. Man, when I first started learning Swahili, bro, I'd always come up to you. The first thing I told this guy was Nina Taka.
Bro, I told this guy, don't know what that means.
Yo, bro, so Nina Takakula, bro, means I want to eat, bro. I want to eat.
In Swahili,
bro, so when I first came up to this man, when I first started learning, bro, he was like, yo, where'd you learn that from? Bro, and then so we got into this thing, bro. So every day, if I learn something new, I just come up to him and be like, bro, this is how you say it, right? Yada, 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 bro. That's a fun little story I wanted to tell, bro. Keep yapping that you say something, bro. My bad. I just had to say that, bro.
Dude just wanted to brag that he was learning
a new language. Chill out, bro. I'm joking. I
just wanted to brag.
Keep going, bro. Keep going.
Wait, where was I at, bro? What was we talking about?
You were talking about
culture.
Yeah, culture.
And so, bro, we've been talking about culture heavily all the time. And we're talking about we was talking to Mr. Right? Yeah. So he's this great man. He's probably gonna watch this episode. Yeah. This great man that goes to. That doesn't go to our school. He's a faculty member. You know, he does a lot. He wears many hats. Do your research on that. If you know, you know.
Oh,
hey, shout out to him. But
he was in the documentary. I watched the documentary.
There was this one.
He was
documentary.
in the documentary. They did a documentary at
our school
called The Push.
Yeah,
and it was about this student who changed his ways, and I think you can learn so much from it, because you see how he starts off. And, you know, he's going through something. He lost his father, unfortunately, right? And so when you lose, like, a stone of the house. Yeah,
and he's in this environment, in this culture, where, like, it's not going to... It doesn't allow him to flourish.
To flourish. Exactly. So when he was looking for somebody else to look up to, right? Because as humans, we're so finite. We're not... We need humans, bro. Humans need humans. We're such social creatures, right?
Yeah, all the time. Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, he looked to this, there was like this mentor that came to the school. He did the documentary, and he helped him. He graduated, and I think he's doing such good things in life now. He graduated like 22. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, he's doing different things. I think Mr. Wright said he's going for his PhD or something like that. Remember? I think Mr. Wright was saying something like that.
That was another student.
But I'm sure he's doing great things, and, you know, you can see his little transformation. So I think as humans, we're so finite in, you know, because once we love something, you have to accept that. Like, when you love something, it's gonna go away one day. Mm-hmm. That's the thing you have to accept. You gotta be ready to accept that with all your heart. That this thing that I love, it's gonna go away one day. But the fact that you still pursue it every single day, it shows something. It shows that even if I'm gonna lose it one day, I don't know how I'm gonna feel when I lose it. But right now, I gotta keep working to it, because that's what I love. That's my dream. You know? So.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And in that, going back to that, you know, that documentary that we watched, and Mr. Wright, who was in that documentary, right? He's so we come to him a lot, because he's been at our school for so many different years.
He's like our mentor.
Exactly, he's our mentor. So he gives us insights on exactly how
Everything.
the culture is like,
Exactly.
and how the culture has shifted throughout the years. Because the thing about culture is that it's very important. Your culture shapes who you are. Your environment. It's sort of like what you take in a lot. You know, because it could either benefit you or damage you almost, right? And like, so we're trying to learn more about how exactly
to change that environment,
to better our environment, right? Because, you know, there's always something that you can do to help those around you.
Exactly.
And I feel like a lot of people do a lot of complaining, bro. A lot of complaining. And I used to complain all the time.
Me too.
Like, my parents used to complain about me complaining.
I used to be a D1 complainer.
But once I grew older and matured a little bit, I realized that complaining has no benefit at all. And instead of complaining,
you gotta do.
You gotta
a lot more doing.
Think about what it is that I can do to better my environment, to better my circumstance.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, especially when it comes to schools specifically, they complain about, oh, this is happening at my school, or this is not happening at my school. How come this is going on? You know, but they never go out and they never do anything about that. They never, and we talk about this a lot, not just when it comes to our school, but when it comes to society in general, and our communities in general. That's why when we go out and we volunteer and we advocate for our communities, right? So we go to different speaking events where we tell people to just, you know, you think this is a problem, why don't you go out and vote for that?
Exactly. No change. If nothing changes, nothing changes,
bro. And so we go out to these different places and we see a lot of people complaining about it. But they never actually try to like implement it and try to see how they can have an impact themselves. And I think a lot of times you need to see it as a bigger picture, not just, it's an individual. You're just you own your individual, and it's just you. But when you realize that society as a whole is connected, and so you're connected, I'm connected to you, and you're connected to another person, and in that same way I'm also connected to the other person. And so if I do something that negatively impacts you, it's also going to negatively impact another person.
Because once you start, like, you got to get to a point in life where your friends are a reflection of yourself. 100%. If I do something crazy, the first thing I'll go to and be like, Patrick, what's up with it? This the person you made the film with. This the person you hang around with every day. He doing some crazy stuff, right? So once you realize that you're a reflection of your environment at a point, but you also have to realize that at a certain point, it's not the environment's fault. It's your fault. So you got to start. I remember I told you about this. We were reading this book. I think it was The Glass Menagerie. We were reading this book, and there's a character in it. I forgot exactly what her name is, but throughout the story, she plays the victim card often, right? From a young age, her mother has these different goals for her, like to send her to school, business school and whatnot, right? She drops out of business school the next day because she said she's too nervous. She doesn't want to do it. Right? And then there's a man that comes into the story, and he basically leads her on. And at the end, they kiss, and you know what he says to her? He says to her, I have a wife. So this whole time,
but what they got y'all reading, bro?
The theme's in it, because we had a whole class debate on it. On one hand, her mother's putting her in this position where she's like, she doesn't want to go to business school, but her mother's making it, because this is an old time story, like 1900s, right? And then the man comes in. She thought she felt something for this man, but the whole time he's leading her on for character development or whatnot. And so I argue that at a certain point, she's like in her 20s. She has to realize she's holding these values from high school, how she felt nervous, how people judged her, yada, yada, yada. She got to get out that bubble of, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe if nothing changes, nothing changes. Right? And that's what I was arguing. Other people were arguing that no, it's her environment. But in my opinion, if nothing changes, then nothing changes. And she didn't want to change. She obviously didn't care enough to change.
Of course. And a lot of that blaming other people and blaming your environment comes from a negative self-image. And if you really if you know someone with a negative self-image, it's such an easy tell. Because it's like, they say they can't do something because of this, right?
Because of that.
And bro, I talked about this I used to talk about this all the time, bro. And like, people say that I'm like this because of what happened, in the past. I'm like this because of this that happened, because of what this person did to me. But my response is always, no, you're like that because you choose to be like that. Yeah. Because someone can go through the same circumstances as you and be a completely different person. And like a lot of times, all it takes is a shift of perspective, right? Of a shift of perception. Yeah. Because like if you want to change who you are, if you want to better yourself and also see the world as better, all it takes is just a simple mindset shift. Simple decision to change your self-image, and thus also changing the image of those around you and the world around you. And many people, they like to stay in that sort of bubble because change isn't easy to make. Change is very difficult for anybody, really. But
if you realize that there's a problem, that's the first step to solving every problem that you got.
The only way people want to change is if the alternative is much more better than their current circumstance. But at the same time, if they're comfortable with their certain circumstance, that's a dangerous place to be.
100%.
When you're in a circumstance where like you don't really like it, but you don't hate it enough to change. You don't like dislike it enough to want to go out your way to change it. And then you're stuck in this sort of rabbit hole where you're digging yourself deeper, and it's just like you're staying in that same position when you could have become a better person, when you could have been changed who you are, and also changed the environment.
Exactly. Damn, man, that's deep. Because the one thing we also talk about is how powerful the human mind is. And I remember just 2 experiments I want to talk about. One experiment, scientists brought together these group of people, right? And they gave them different types of pills, right? And it was one group who the pills actually had something in it, and the other ones didn't have nothing in it.
The placebo effect.
The placebo effect. Placebo. Oh my goodness. Bro. What do you think about that? Is that like, that's real?
Bro, it's crazy.
100% real.
Though. That shows like the power of the mind.
The human mind. Because the mind believes what you tell it. So that's why, in my opinion, after a certain amount of time, your environment doesn't start shaping you, start shaping yourself. So that's when, people like to complain.
You ain't finished telling them about the experiment.
So after the experiment, the people, they found out that there was nothing in the pill, so no change should happen. They also said that their pain went away. And the other people who actually took painkillers, of course, their pain went away. But the people who there was nothing in the pill, their pain also went away.
Exactly. It's just
that shows the power.
The power of the mind. If you can change, if you can literally alter something in your own system,
exactly,
simply by thinking it's changing, bro. Imagine what else you could do.
100%.
You feel me?
100%. And then there was the one where I don't know if you remember, our counselor was talking to us because we were doing this grit program. She told us that there was also another experiment. Well, there was 2 plants, and one plant, the person would say good stuff to it, like, you're gonna grow, yada yada.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
You're gonna grow, like good stuff to the plant, giving it good energy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Then the other plant, they kept it in the exact same room, same control room, same amount of sunlight. The other plant, they were like, man, you're not gonna grow.
Negative
you're gonna be a little plant, right? Negative energy, right? Just negative energy. They found at the end that the one plant didn't grow, the one that they were talking. You feel me? But the other plant grew. So that's why in the same time, the environment does matter. The people that you're around does matter. Right, but you gotta learn how to block off. You gotta learn how to have that tunnel vision. Because a lot of people said we couldn't win. Joshua said we weren't gonna win the film fest. Our own friend said, "Man, there's no way y'all win this, bro." But you gotta understand from his point of view. People have been doing it for years, bro. Yeah. I mean, the first school that did it, they won the whole award. They won 7 awards the first year around. So it's like for us to win 3 awards that day, it really put our school on the map, and it really put us on the map. Because I remember after that. They had put in this order for cameras at our school. The bookkeeper went to our teacher, and she was like, y'all need them cameras? All right, I'm gonna work on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because we won.
And like, I really think a big factor on us winning was our self-image and the sort of mindset that we went in when we entered into the competition. And anything that we do, it's our mindset is always like, man, I've succeeded before in other things, I'm the man that I am today, and because I'm the man that I am today, no matter what environment you place me in, bro, I can succeed anyway. I remember Mr. Wright, he was saying, man, you could don't worry about me, you could place me in the desert and I'll be alright. I still find my way. And it's like having that mindset, having that sort of ego, and in a good way, right?
Yeah.
It's sort of the thing that everybody needs to achieve their goals and be ambitious enough to know that they can achieve something and to actually go out and achieve that said thing. Because I've seen many people, bro, they quit so early, and it's like it's always you could have won. You could have done something
like that little meme where the guy's mining diamonds.
Oh yeah, he's like, bro, I've seen so many different memes about that. There's one at the top where like the dude was mining diamonds, but then he quit.
Yeah, he quit right at the diamonds, bro.
Right before.
Bro, please do not miss out on your diamonds, bro. Please do not miss out, bro.
Exactly.
Keep mining, bro. Bro, you saw the Minecraft movie, bro? Oh my!
I didn't watch it. You watched it?
No, bro. My brother went to go watch it, bro.
He went to watch it in theaters?
I didn't go to watch. Bro, that's a waste of time, bro.
Watch it, bro.
Bro, in the movie, bro, what's his name, bro? Jack Black is like, "Are y'all ready to mine and craft, bro?" Bro, I lost it when I saw that, bro. But you
gonna watch it?
Hell no.
Bro, it might be a good movie,
I might watch
bro.
it for the
laughs and
the memes, the laughs. They had a lot of fan service in it. I don't know if you know who Technoblade is.
No, I heard they had a lot of
he had a cameo in it. Like they put because his avatar was like a pig, you know, and so he always had a crown on, and so it was so cool that they put him in there, right? Because he was known as a Minecraft legend, bro.
Yeah. I heard they had Minecraft YouTubers in there.
Yeah, they had a lot, and I feel like that's the most important one because shifting to movies, I feel like you have to put stuff in your movie that has meaning. So a lot of people who walked out that theater, they were there for the experience of it. The movie might not have been good. It had a really low rating, right? But you got to peep the experience of it. The experience that people had just watching, the fan service they had watching it. Because this is a game that they've all played in their childhood, right? And to see their a hero in there, a legend, right? Such as Technoblade himself, who had been doing Minecraft for like 10 years, right? Your movie can mean so much if you just put that love into it, as in the way you build it, the different type of fan services you have, the different type of the people that you have in the movie. Because a lot of people watch the movie just because Jack Black is in it. That's a legend in of himself, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like as directors, right, what do you think is the most important part in a movie? Besides, like the shot list, besides directing, yada yada yada. What's the most important part?
For me, I would say, but is the story building of the movie, because many movies, like, if they start off weak, I might just end the movie right then and there.
That's because you got a bad attention span.
No, because I don't got a bad attention
span. Bro, this
is
what happens when TikTok fries your brain,
listen, I don't got a bad attention span. It's just like
10 seconds. Man, this movie, it's
just, bro. It's just like, for me, bro, I love it when I can see that this story is going somewhere. You feel me?
I feel like some stories have that building up, no?
Yeah, exactly. But like the most important, because I remember that one short film that we watched, right? The one that was so, what was it called?
The graduation one?
Yeah.
I forgot, man. But it's like this graduation movie.
Nothing but no. I don't know what it was, but it was this, bro. It's amazing short film, right? The looks of it, but it had no, like, the story wasn't really going anywhere.
Yeah.
And at first, I didn't realize that until I stopped focusing on the look of it and actually start listening to what they were saying and actually was like, so what is the point of this film?
Yeah.
Where is it going? And I was watching some film reviews about it, and someone was like, this film was actually kind of horrible.
Yeah.
Because of how bad the story was. It wasn't going anywhere.
But what saved it was the looks of it. Yeah,
the looks of it was amazing. But for me, I feel like, bro, the story got to be there.
The story wasn't there.
Because it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's
because I really liked the movie, but I feel like if you looked at it from a story perspective, then it wasn't really it wasn't building anything. Exactly. And that's why in our film, I feel like the world building we had was so important. Yeah. The different places, because we shot downtown Atlanta, we shot here, we shot in so many different places, Stone Mountain, and so the world building in it, you can just see the world building in it, especially because everybody's from the city here. Yeah. So like the different places that you went to, right? Yeah. And the movie we're working on right now, can we talk about it?
You want to tell them about it, man?
We can talk about it.
Okay, go ahead.
We are working on a zombie movie. It's going to be pretty long because it's not going to be for Film Fest. It's just going to be for us, for our love of it.
Submit to other
we might short it down. But the main point of it is to be a zombie movie because I love zombies. I love The Walking Dead.
Too much.
Okay, bro, shut up. So it's gonna be a send off for me and Patrick. We're not gonna say how it's gonna be a send off, but it's just gonna be a nice little
send off for who,
hold
man?
on, bro. Look at this. Look at this plane, bro.
Wait, hold on. Send off for who? I'm still here. It's a send off for you and Xavier. Y'all bots that are graduating, bro.
But this little youngin, bro. Anyways, bro. Before I was interrupted,
I got another movie coming soon after that one. That's his last
zombie. This is my last Stone Mountain. This is my last Stone Mountain movie.
Film.
I'm gonna help you out with y'all film next year. So listen, we are doing a zombie movie. I think we can talk about it. It's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so fun. We're gonna have extras. If you want to be an extra, let me know. We're gonna need a lot of zombie extras.
A lot of zombies. We're gonna need makeup artists.
And the story is going to be so up to par.
Good. Because we got our best
writers, three best writers,
screenwriters. You feel me?
Exactly. 2 award-winning.
Stuff them in the basement. Tell them to get to writing.
Get them to writing. They're actually in the basement right now. I believe
in the sweatshops.
They better be working. They better be working on our film.
On an amazing story right now.
Exactly. So it's gonna be so amazing. We're gonna film here, our home. Where film is so predominant, you know, in our city. So I feel like that's also an environment thing that plays a role. Is because anything can be a filming location here. This whole field is a filming location. We could film anywhere. Walkers ambushing us, you know. So we are doing a zombie movie, and that's all we can say.
Yes,
we can't say a lot.
We're not gonna say
too much. We're not allowed.
The next time y'all gonna see it is when the trailer comes out. And
hey, let's hope none of us get bit.
Yeah, bro.
None of us get bit, man.
I hope he turns into a zombie, bro.
Alright, bro, you gonna be the first person I bite. Wait, pause. Wait. No, what?
Why you biting me, bro?
My bad. Alright, listen though. That gives me an excuse to show off my pants. Alright, my bad.
Alright, bro.
But this is another talking point. Having people around you that do different sort of stuff, right? Yeah. That connection thing. We have the reason we have movies now, and the reason because I remember when I was a young kid, I was always like, I want to start a movie. I just want to be able to call my writers up from the basement.
Really?
Yeah, I just want to call them up, be like, hey, let's do this movie. They got to say yes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're doing that, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And so where the pants come in, I have a person who makes personal pants for me, made by Joshua. Joshua makes all my pants. The guy who said we couldn't win films, he's really good at making pants. If you want pants from him, his Instagram is Joshua.
Hey, we're not sponsored though. It's not sponsored.
We're not sponsored.
You gotta pay us.
Yeah, he gotta pay us to sponsor.
We actually gonna cut that out. You can't keep that in there. He needs to pay us.
Man,
he needs to pay us, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
Forget him.
Man, forget Joshua, bro. I don't know what he doing right now. We know what he doing. Anyways, but I think having different connections, having a network, right? Because nobody's a one-man army.
Mm-hmm,
nobody's a one-man army.
Yeah.
And especially in
nobody's really self-made either.
Nobody's self-made, bro. You gotta have people around you, bro. That's something I learned so...
Yeah, exactly.
It's such in a hard way. Because it's like, you can't do everything. That's something our mentor was talking to us about.
Yeah.
It's because if people just see us doing it, then they're gonna think that's just us.
Yeah, that's just us.
But you gotta lift people up. You gotta lift people up. And that's why us picking a zombie movie, because you know how many people came up to us after we said we're doing a zombie movie and said, yo, let me just be a zombie.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, let me be in the movie.
Let me just be in the movie.
Remember when we was just walking home and one of my friends walked, yo, bro, I saw that movie, bro. That was so great, man. Y'all got another one coming up. Let me be in that other one. Let me be in it.
We said zombie movies. Like, all right, bet. I'm going to be a walker.
You feel me? People DMing us about
wanting to be a zombie. I never knew so many people wanted to be a zombie, bro. You know?
If you want to be a zombie too.
If you want to be a zombie, let me know. But that's my favorite part about just film, bro. Is how it brings people together.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Just that sort of connection.
Yeah.
And, you know, just
behind the scenes of it is going to be super fun. Because it's going to be long filming days.
It's going
to be very long filming days, man.
And it's starting to get hot, too.
I'm starting to get hot right now. I'm steaming right now. I'm finna get sunburned. I'm too light for this, man. Too light. So... What else you want to say?
Is this it?
I think this is it.
End it. Hey, man, this is
a beautiful episode.
Great episode. You know, our first
outside episode. I like outside episodes more.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing this.
We might be doing this a lot more, especially during summer.
Exactly. Might be in space.
One day. We might be on Mars.
On the ocean. In the ocean.
We're gonna be in Japan.
Yeah, in Japan. Wherever. Spain.
Wherever. Spain. Portugal. Right. Thank you guys for watching. Smhswisdom. That's it from us.
That's it. Go Pirates.
Go Pirates.